As we're now coming to the conclusion of this micro degree on change dynamics, I would firstly like to sincerely express my gratitude that I was able to lead you through this process. And hopefully by now you understand the formula much better and it makes more sense than it did when we started. Your next steps are written down on this page. And what we invite you to do is to send the information through to us, as you will find the information on this page. And we will give you a report which will show you what is the areas that you really need to be focusing on first to start creating the change. I would like to make you aware of something here as well, is that this process isn't about creating the whole change for you. That is something only you can do. There is really no process that can do that for you. What this process is about though, is about you taking the first step. And often you will find if you just take that first step towards change, then you will start creating the momentum to take the next step and the next step and the next step. And on that journey, if you ever find yourself stuck, come back and do it again. Rate yourself again, and you might find that the area that kept you stuck before isn't the area that's keeping you stuck this time. It's a learning process, it's a growing process. And the second thing I'd like to share with you, why this formula and why this process is so important, is the best shared through a story. So there was this hotel that was flooding at the basement, and they couldn't let any guests in until they sorted the problem out. So they, in desperation, called the plumber, and the plumber came there and stood down in the basement, knee-deep in water, stood for a few minutes looking around, and then eventually took a screwdriver out of his bag, walked to the one area, turned a screw, the water stopped, and he was done. When he gave them the bill was over $1,000. And they looked at this and asked him, how can you charge us $1,000? You were only here for 5 minutes and you only turned one screw. And then the plumber said, let me break the bill down for you. He said, I charged you $100 for turning the screw, and the other $900 was for knowing exactly which screw needed to be turned. In the same way, the real power of this is identifying the exact screw and in their exact combination that they need to be turned. How often can we spend many frustrating months or even years attempting to find out or attempting to make ourselves wrong because we're not taking action, because we're not creating the changes we want? And often the reason we're not doing it is so simple, just one small screw that needs to be turned. But because we are not able to see this for ourselves, we find ourselves stuck. My hope with this micro degree is that it will give you the insight as to which screw you need to turn. And my real hope is that one turn, that one change, and you might have a combination. There might be 3 or 4 things that are identified that you need to work on in order. But my real hope and belief is that when you start doing that, when you start turning those screws, that everything in your life, in this area that you are working on, will start to change. And the wonderful thing about this formula is that once you understand it, you can apply it to all the areas of your life. It's like having any mathematical formula. If you have a mathematical formula and you get the wrong answer at the end, you can't blame the formula. You realize that you probably input the wrong variables into that formula. The same with the change creator formula, is that if you just do what I have advised you in this micro degree and what you will find in your report, and just focus it and follow on the formula, then I believe you will truly start to experience the changes that you are desiring in your life. I wish you all the best, and I know that the power, that greatness is within you. It's time to unleash it and time to create this change that you have been longing for. Thank you.